The movie begins in a forest town in India, home to a boy simply known as Kid, who loves hearing his mother Neela's stories about Hanuman, the Lord of the Monkeys, one of the most important and revered gods in Hinduism. When Hanuman was just a child, he craved a golden, shiny mango, only to discover it was actually the sun. When the gods learned of this, they punished him by stripping him of his powers. The rest of the story will have to wait because we jump to the future to see an adult Kid fighting in the Tiger Temple, a bloody underground boxing club. Once he's thrown out of the ring, the establishment's owner, Tiger, a foreign man, appears and makes it clear to his audience that here they worship only one god, the Indian rupee. With that said, he grants victory to King Cobra, Kid's rival, while Kid heads to the locker rooms without any glory. While cleaning his blood, he is reminded of a fire and the man who caused it, although he returns to reality before the past can drag him in completely. Tiger then hands him his reward for the match, half of what Kid expected. In his defense, the foreigner reminds him that he pays Kid for bleeding, and Kid did not bleed enough in his last fight. When the protagonist claims he needs money, Tiger responds that he should dance like a monkey. Perhaps then he could earn it. Later, at a bar, Kid watches a TV report about Baba Shakti, a local spiritual guru who is gaining many followers and political influence through religion. Some even believe he intends to run for president, given his support from the Sovereign Party, notorious for controversial land expropriations. Seconds later, Kid is approached by an informant who tells him Queenie Kapoor's itinerary. She is the owner of King's, a high society brothel. The next day, we see a man, apparently blind and disabled, manage to steal Queenie's wallet. After passing through many hands, the wallet finally reaches the person who requested it in the first place, Kid. Thanks to this, he has the perfect excuse to enter the luxurious King's brothel, where he asks Queenie for work in return for giving her wallet back. She immediately rejects him, arguing they do not hire people from the lower classes. However, she changes her mind when he shows her his burned hands, capable of withstanding anything. Before leaving Queenie's office, Kid notices a picture of her with R. Singh, a familiar face from his tragic past. During his job in the brothel kitchen, he meets Alfonso, a gangster who works for Queenie. In addition, he witnesses how Queenie mistreats her prostitutes and hands them out to her wealthiest clients without caring that she is also involved in the drug business. Once he gathers enough money, Kid goes to an arms dealer who has an arsenal worthy of John Wick. The protagonist, however, prefers something more discreet and effective, like a revolver. Wanting to earn Alfonso's trust, he invites him to one of his underground fights and tells him to bet on his rival. At the pivotal moment, Kid endures his opponent's attacks, and when he starts bleeding, he sees the ghost of his mother among the crowd. As promised, the protagonist ends up biting the dust, generating a lot of money for Alfonso, who in return promotes him to bartender at King's. In his new position, Kid witnesses firsthand how the most famous and well-known politicians in India surrender to their darkest vices in the brothel. Beyond that, what he really wants is to get to R. Singh, who resides in the VIP room. He just needs a way to get in. For now, he has no choice but to blend into the brothel, which becomes quite complicated, because he can't stand watching these unscrupulous men abuse the courtesans, especially Sita. No matter how hard he tries to resist, he ends up remembering that day in his childhood, when a police squad, led by its corrupt chief R. Singh, massacred the inhabitants of his village to take over the territory and add it to Baba Shakti's domain. The only thing that helps him return to the present is an adorable puppy in the back alley. While he is feeding it, Sita catches him off guard and warns him that he shouldn't work at King's if he can't handle what happens inside. She also tells him to stop feeding the animal as it will come back every day for more. Far from following her advice, the man continues looking after and training the dog while also practicing his marksmanship on a street mural. Of course, he doesn't set aside his appearances as Monkey Man, the infamous fighter who never stops losing. Over time, the dog becomes capable of delivering his revolver to the alley behind the brothel, slipping past the security guards. Likewise, Kid is allowed into the VIP room for the first time, distributing vials of cocaine as if they were glasses of wine. At that point, he recognizes the man groping Sita, Singh, the man who ruined his life. After remembering the importance of his mission, Kid adds bleach to the corrupt policeman's cocaine. Singh quickly feels ill and heads to the bathroom. There, Kid aims his revolver at him, ready to shoot in his mother's name. Unfortunately, Singh seizes a brief distraction to strike him, resulting in a struggle for the revolver. When a mobster caught in the middle tries to grab the gun, Kid causes him to lose his balance, and the weapon falls directly into a toilet. The protagonist uses the toilet chain to his advantage by strangling Singh, but Singh overpowers him with brute force, slamming him into the sinks. Although it seems like the end for Kid, he pulls a knife out of his leg and stabs his enemy in the eye. After that, he smashes the giant fish tank and prepares to jump out a window before Singh's backup arrives. Maybe another day. With no option but to fight, he makes his way through the emergency stairs using his bare fists. In the parking lot, he takes Alfonso's souped-up tuk-tuk to make a grand escape. Of course, he cannot leave without its rightful owner. They still cannot celebrate, as the police are after them. Using his driving skills and the tuk-tuk's own capabilities, the protagonist manages to evade the patrol cars. However, when a girl appears in the middle of the road, he has no choice but to brake abruptly, causing a patrol car to crash into his vehicle. While Alfonso manages to escape, Kid is arrested by the police. On the way to the station, he summons strength from nowhere to fight back against his captors, shooting them without mercy since they are Singh's henchmen. After that, he jumps onto the pavement to continue his escape. The problem is that out of all the places to hide, he ends up in the underground brothel of a psychotic pimp who brutally attacks him with an axe. Not caring how many people get in his way, Kid subdues his rival and tries to strangle him with his handcuffs. Just then, the police arrive and open fire on him, forcing him to flee across the nearby building rooftops. Unfortunately, the sniper on a police helicopter manages to land a shot, causing him to fall inert into the river's waters. As he hovers between life and death, he remembers the happiest days of his life when he walked through the forest with his mother. Miraculously, he is rescued by the women of a local temple dedicated to the Hindu deity. As he hovers between life and death, he remembers the happiest days of his life when he walked through the forest with his mother. Miraculously, he is rescued by the women of a local temple dedicated to the Hindu deity Hanuman. These women are led by Neela, who treats Kid's wounds and lets him stay in their sanctuary. They are aware of his reputation as Monkey Man and believe that fate has brought him to them for a reason. Neela tells him that Hanuman was once stripped of his powers and left powerless, much like Kid himself. But through faith and perseverance, Hanuman regained his strength, something Kid must now do as well. Initially, Kid struggles with the temple's strict routine, but with Neela's guidance, he slowly recovers. He undergoes rigorous training, learning to fight with precision and control. The temple also houses a hidden armory, stocked with weapons from past rebellions. As Kid heals, his purpose becomes clearer. He will bring down Baba Shakti, R. Singh, and everyone who has exploited the weak for power. Meanwhile, Queenie is furious after Singh informs her that Kid is still alive. Knowing he will return, she increases security at King's and seeks Baba Shakti's assistance. Baba Shakti, however, sees this as an opportunity. He orders Singh to locate Kid, intending to eliminate him before he can expose their operations. Back at the temple, Kid finally tames his anger. He accepts his past but refuses to let it define him. He shaves his head, marking his transformation. He is no longer just a boy seeking revenge, he is Monkey Man, a warrior of justice. Armed with newfound strength and the weapons from the temple's armory, Kid sets his plan in motion. He infiltrates the city, targeting Singh's men one by one. He takes down corrupt police officers, destroys drug shipments, and even exposes Queenie's blackmail material on government officials. His legend grows, and people start seeing him as a hero. As Kid's attacks intensify, Singh and Baba Shakti realize they must act fast. They plan to lure him out by attacking the temple, knowing he will come to its defense. True to their expectations, Kid arrives just in time to witness Singh and his men slaughtering the temple's inhabitants. Enraged, he fights with everything he has, but the numbers are overwhelming. Neela sacrifices herself to buy him time, reminding him with her last breath that he carries the spirit of Hanuman. With Neela's words echoing in his mind, Kid regroups and sets his sights on the final battle. He storms King's where Queenie and Singh await. The fight is brutal, Queenie unleashes her assassins, but Kid takes them down one by one. When he reaches Queenie, she begs for mercy, but he gives her the same fate she gave countless others. Singh, however, is a different challenge. The corrupt officer is as strong as ever, and the two engage in a vicious brawl. Singh nearly overpowers Kid, but in a last-ditch effort, Kid taps into the resilience of Hanuman and defeats him. Before finishing him off, he tells Singh that justice has finally caught up with him. With Singh dead and Queenie eliminated, only Baba Shakti remains. Kid confronts him at his grand palace, where the so-called spiritual leader has barricaded himself with an army of followers. But Kid is no longer alone. The people, inspired by his actions, rise against Baba Shakti's tyranny. A massive riot erupts, and the palace is set ablaze. Kid finally reaches Baba Shakti, who tries to manipulate him with empty promises of power. But Kid sees through the deception. Without hesitation, he delivers the final blow, ending Baba Shakti's reign once and for all. As the palace crumbles, Kid emerges victorious. The people cheer, knowing that their oppressors have fallen. But Kid does not stay to bask in the glory. He disappears into the night, his mission complete. In the final scene, we see Kid back in the forest, where it all began. He watches the sunrise, knowing that his mother's spirit is with him. He is no longer just a boy filled with rage. He is a symbol of resistance, a legend that will live on.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Movie Story for more amazing movie recaps. Let us know in the comments which movie you'd like us to cover next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.